Black History Month in Canada has its roots in the United States, where Black History Week was celebrated in 1926, initiated by historian Carter G. Woodson. The event was later expanded to a month long celebrated in 1976, becoming what is known today as Black History Month. In Canada, the origins of Black History Month can be traced back to the efforts of a Canadian, Dr. Carter Goodwin Woodson, who founded the Association for the Study of Negro Life and History, also known as ASNLH, in the United States in 1915. The ASNLH launched Negro History Week in 1926, which later evolved into Black History Month. Though Black History Month originated in the United States, its observance spread to other countries, which included, of course, Canada. In the early 1950s, a Canadian initiative called Negro Citizenship Week aimed to celebrate the contributions of Black Canadians. However, it wasn't until the 1970s that the idea of a month long celebration of Black history gained momentum in Canada. One of the key figures in the establishment of Black History Month in Canada was Jean Augustine, a Black Canadian politician. In December of 1995, Augustine, who was then serving as a member of parliament for Etobicoke Lakeshore, introduced a motion in the House of Commons to officially recognize February as Black History Month in Canada. The motion received unanimous approval, and in 1996, Canada officially recognized February as Black History Month. Since then, Black History Month has been celebrated annually in Canada with various events, activities, and educational initiatives aimed at recognizing the achievements and contributions of Black Canadians throughout history. It provides an opportunity to learn about diverse experiences and cultures of Black communities in Canada, as well as to reflect on the ongoing struggles for racial equality and social justice. Black History Month in Canada continues to evolve with efforts to highlight the achievements of Black Canadians in various fields such as politics, literature, science, sports, and the arts. It serves as a reminder of the importance of acknowledging and celebrating the rich and diverse history of Black Canadians while also addressing systemic barriers and working towards a more inclusive society. Here's a brief biography of just 10 of the key individuals who played a significant role in the establishment and promotion of Black History Month in Canada. Jean Augustine, a pioneering figure in Canadian politics, Jean Augustine was the first Black Canadian woman elected to the House of Commons. She served as a member of parliament for Etobicoke Lakeshore from 1993 to 2006. Augustine was the first to introduce the motion to officially recognize February as Black History Month in Canada in December of 1995, which received unanimous approval. Lincoln Alexander. Lincoln Alexander was the first Black member of Parliament in Canada and the first Black Canadian to be appointed as a federal cabinet member. He served as the Minister of Labor from 1979 to 1980. Alexander was prominent advocate for racial equality and played a significant role in raising awareness about Black Canadian history and achievements. Roosevelt Rosie Douglas. Originally from Dominicana, Roosevelt Douglas was a community activist and politician who advocated for the recognition of Black history in Canada. He played a key role in promoting Black History Month in Nova Scotia, where it was officially recognized in 1996. Douglas also served as a member of parliament in Dominicana and held various government positions. Bromley Armstrong. Bromley Armstrong was a Jamaican-born Canadian civil rights activist who played a leading role in the fight against racial discrimination in Canada. He co-founded the Jamaican Canadian Association and was actively involved in numerous civil rights organizations. Armstrong's advocacy efforts helped to raise awareness about the need to recognize and celebrate Black history in Canada. Wilson O. Brooks. Wilson O. Brooks was a prominent educator and community leader who made significant contributions to the advancement of Black Canadians. He served as the president of Nova Scotia's Association for Advancement of Colored People, otherwise known as the NSAACP, and was instrumental in promoting the recognition of Black History Month in Nova Scotia. Rosemary Sadlier. Rosemary Sadlier is a historian, author, educator who has been a leading advocate for Black history and culture. She served as the president of the Ontario Black History Society, otherwise known as OBHS, and played a key role in promoting the recognition of Black History Month in Ontario and across Canada. Doreen Lewis. Doreen Lewis was the first Black female mayor in Canada. She served as the mayor of Annapolis Royal in Nova Scotia from 1984 to 1998. Lewis was a trailblazer in Canadian politics and a strong advocate for diversity and inclusion. She played a significant role in promoting awareness of Black history and heritage in Nova Scotia. Afua Cooper. Afua Cooper is a Jamaican Canadian historian, author, and poet known for her work on Black Canadian history and culture. She has published several books and articles exploring the experiences of Black Canadians, including their contributions to Canadian history and society. Cooper's scholarships has helped to increase awareness and understanding of Black history in the country. Daniel G. Hill. Daniel G. Hill was a pioneering Black Canadian sociologist, civil servant, and human rights activist. He was a founding member and director of the Ontario Human Rights Commission and played a key role in the development of human rights legislations in Canada. Hill's advocacy efforts helped to advance racial equality and promote the recognition of Black history in Canada. Hogan's Alley Society. Hogan's Alley Society is a community organization based in Vancouver, British Columbia, dedicated to preserving and promoting the history of Vancouver's Black community. The society has been actively involved in advocating for the recognition of Black and Black History Month in British Columbia. It also has the effort of raising awareness about the contributions of Black Canadians to the province's history and culture. These individuals, among many others, have made significant contributions to the establishment and promotion of Black History Month in Canada, helping to raise awareness about the rich and diverse history of Black Canadians and the ongoing struggle for racial equality and social justice. Here is just a few of the reasons why February was chosen as Black History Month. Abraham Lincoln and Frederick Douglass. February includes the birthdays of two prominent figures in Black history, Abraham Lincoln and Frederick Douglass. Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States, issued the Emancipation Declaration in 1863, which played a significant role in the abolition of slavery. For his part, Frederick Douglass was a prominent abolitionist, writer, and statesman who escaped from slavery and became a leading voice for civil rights and emancipation. Carter G. Woodson. Carter G. Woodson, also known as the father of Black history, played a pivotal role in the establishment of Negro Week and later the Black History Month. Woodson was an African American historian and author. Choosing February as Black History Month honor his legacy and contributions to the study and celebration of Black history. The historical significance. February is a month with historical significance to African American community. It provides an opportunity to commemorate important events and milestones in Black history, including the foundation of the NCAAP, so the National Association for the Advocacy of Colored People, on February 12, 1909, and the Civil Acts Right in 1964, which was signed into law on February 2nd. The recognition and awareness. By dedicating an entire month to celebration of Black history and achievement, there's a greater opportunity to raise awareness, to educate the public, and promote understanding and appreciation of the contributions of Black Americans and Canadians to society. Overall, February is chosen as Black History Month to honor significant historical figures, commemorate important events, and promote the study and celebration of Black history and culture. It serves as a time for reflection, education, and recognition of the struggles and triumphs of Black community and individuals. Carter Goodwin Woodson, born December 19th, 1875, and passed away on April 3rd, 1950, was an African American historian, author, journalist, and educator who is often referred to as the father of Black history. He dedicated his life to the study and promotion of African American history and culture, challenging the prevalent notion that Black people had no history worth studying. Woodson was born in New Canton, Virginia, to former slaves James and Eliza Riddle Woodson. He grew up in poverty and worked as a sharecropper and miner in his youth. Despite facing significant obstacles, he was determined to pursue an education. He attended school sporadically while working, eventually graduating from Berea College in Kentucky in 1903. After earning his bachelor's degree, Woodson worked as a teacher in West Virginia and in the Philippines. He later returned to the United States to continue his education, earning a master's degree in the University of Chicago in 1908 and a PhD in history from Harvard University in 1912. Woodson's doctoral dissertation, the disruption, of Virginia, was one of the first scholarly works to challenge the prevailing racist narratives about African Americans and their contributions to American history. In 1915, Woodson and Jesse E. Moreland, co founders of the Association for the Study of Negro Life and History, now known as the Association for the Study of African American Life and History, or ASALH, which promotes the study of African American history and culture. He believed that it was essential for African Americans to understand their path and to build a stronger sense of identity and pride. Woodson's most famous work is his book, The Miseducation of the Negro, published in 1933. In this book, he critiqued the American education system for failing to provide African Americans with a true understanding of their history and culture, thereby perpetuating racial inequality and discrimination. Woodson also founded the Journal of Negro History, now the Journal of African American History, in 1916, providing a platform for scholars to publish research on African American history. He advocated for the establishment of Negro History Week, which was first celebrated in February 1926, coinciding with the birthdays of Abraham Lincoln and Frederick Douglass. This week later evolved into Black History Month. Throughout his life, Woodson was a prolific writer, publishing numerous books, articles, and essays on African American history and culture. He was also a sought after speaker and lecturer, traveling extensively to promote the importance of studying Black history. Carter G. Woodson pioneered efforts laid the foundation for the academic field of African American studies and played a crucial role in shaping the way African American history is taught and understood in the United States and beyond. He devoted his life to challenging racism and promoting the idea that Black history is integral part to American history. Woodson's legacy continues to inspire scholars, educators, and activists in the ongoing struggle for racial equality and social justice. Jean Augustine is a trailblazing Black Canadian politician known for her significant contributions to Canadian politics and advocacy for social justice and equality. Here's a brief biography of her life. Jean Augustine was born on September 9th, 1937, in Grenada, a Caribbean island nation. She immigrated to Canada in 1960, settling in Toronto, Ontario. Augustine pursued her education at the University of Toronto, where she earned a Bachelor's of Art degree in French and Spanish in 1962 and a Master in Education degree in 1974. Prior to entering politics, Augustine had distinguished career in education and community service. She worked as a teacher, school principal, and curriculum consultant, advocating for inclusive education and opportunities for marginalized communities. In 1993, John Augustine made history by becoming the first Black woman elected to the Parliament of Canada. She represented the riding of Etobicoke Lakeshore as a member of the Liberal Party. During her time in Parliament, Augustine served in various roles, including as a Parliament Secretary to the Prime Minister, Minister of State of Multiculturalism and the Status of Women, as well as Deputy Speaker of the House of Commons. One of Augustine's most notable achievements was her introduction of the notion of the House of Commons to officially recognize February as Black History Month in Canada. The motion was unanimously adopted in December 1995, making Canada the first country outside of the United States to officially recognize Black History Month. Augustine's advocacy and leadership played a pivotal role in promoting awareness of Black Canadian history and culture. Throughout her political career, Augustine was a passionate advocate for social justice, women's rights, and diversity. She championed initiatives to address systemic barriers facing marginalized communities, including efforts to advance gender equality, combat racism, and promote immigrant integration. Excuse me. After retiring from federal politics in 2006, Jean Augustine continued to be active in public service and community engagement. She served as Fairness Commissioner for Ontario, advocating for transparent and equitable professional licensing practices. Augustine also remained involved in various charitable organizations, initiatives focused on education, youth empowerment, and social inclusion. Jean Augustine's groundbreaking achievements and tireless advocacy have had a lasting impact on Canadian society. She has been recognized with numerous awards and honors for contributions, including the Order of Canada and the Order of Ontario. Augustine's legacy serves as an inspiration for future generations of Black Canadians and all those committed to building a more inclusive and equitable society. The Emancipation Proclamation, issued by President Abraham Lincoln on January 1st, 1863, was a landmark executive order that declared all enslaved people in the Confederate held territory to be forever free. Its issuance was a result of a complex interplay of political, social, and military factors and involved several key figures. Here's a brief presentation. Abraham Lincoln. As the 16th President of the United States, Lincoln played a central role in the issuance of the Emancipation Proclamation. Although personally opposed to slavery, Lincoln initially focused on preserving the Union rather than the abolishment of slavery. However, as the Civil War progressed, it became clear that slavery was a central issue. Lincoln began to consider emancipation as a means to weaken Confederacy. He announced the Emancipation Proclamation after the Union victory at the Battle of Antietam, framing it as a military necessity to deprive the Confederacy of labor force that it had. Frederick Douglass was a prominent abolitionist, writer, and orator who exerted significant influence on the abolitionist movement in the course of the Civil War. He met with Abraham Lincoln on several occasions to advocate for emancipation and equal treatment of African American soldiers. Douglass's activism helped shape public opinion and push the Lincoln administration towards a more aggressive stance against slavery. William Seward. William Seward served as Lincoln's Secretary of State and played a crucial role in shaping the administration's policy during the Civil War. Seward was an abolitionist who supported emancipation and worked closely with Lincoln to draft the Emancipation Proclamation and navigate the diplomatic and political challenges associated with the issuance. Salmon P. Chase. Mr. Chase was Lincoln's Secretary of Treasury and a key figure in the Republican Party. Chase was a staunch abolitionist who pushed for the emancipation of enslaved people and worked to build political support for Lincoln's policies. He was also involved in the drafting of the Emancipation Proclamation and played a significant role in its implementation. Thaddeus Stevens. Thaddeus Stevens was a leading radical Republican in Congress and a vocal advocate for the abolition of slavery. Stevens played a key role in shaping Reconstruction policies after the Civil War, but he also exerted influence during the war itself. He supported Lincoln's efforts to emancipate enslaved people and worked to ensure that the Emancipation Proclamation would lead to the eventual abolition of slavery throughout the U.S. African American abolitionists such as Sojourner Truth, Harriet Tubman, and others also played a crucial role in advocating for the emancipation and advancement of the cause of freedom for enslaved people. Their activism, often conducted at great personal risk, helped to shape public opinion and build support for abolitionist movement. The Emancipation Proclamation marked a significant turning point in the Civil War and the struggle for freedom and equality in the United States. While it did not have immediately an end to slavery, it transformed the nature of the war and laid the groundwork for the eventual abolition of slavery with the passage of the 13th Amendment of the U.S. Constitution in 1865.